My name's Tim Distel, and I'm running for County Legislator in the new District 14. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the recently redistricted areas, it's basically the town, the western end of Shongum and the western end of Warsing, pretty much 52 right over the mountain. I'm born and raised in Ulster County. I currently reside in Ulster Heights, and I'm a member of the Warsing Environmental Commission, where we're working on developing an open space plan that would help preserve the beauty of this area and help promote ecotourism. The reason I'm in this race is not for grandeur, not about getting votes, or not about continuing the age-old struggle of Republican versus Democrat. It's about the people of this county who now more than ever need our help. Just the other day I met an elderly couple who aren't married, but they live together because they just can't afford the tax increases and they can't afford the cost of living. I met another gentleman who was a bus driver who recently lost his job, and he told me he's burning through his savings to essentially keep afloat, and he's worried that he may lose his house. So over the last several weeks, I've developed a comprehensive blueprint for Ulster County. I've met with teachers, administrators, business owners, and everyday citizens to highlight key areas we need to focus on if we are to survive this recession. So over the course of tonight, I'd like to tell you about that plan, and feel free to ask any questions. Thank you.
If I could just maybe clarify something. Tim is running against Craig, and TJ is running against, is it Wendell?
Mike Wendell.
Mike Wendell. In the past, we've voted at large for, I think it was 4 people for our district, and now since they've, in the county, decided to combine it, to shrink it to 23, we now have, the town of Warsing will have 2 legislators, and they both have different districts. So it's kind of confusing, so you may need to check before you vote on election day what district you're in. For example, Main Street is District 14, Plank Road is District 15. So it's really chopped up, so you may want to know before you go in the voting booth on November the 5th, or 8th, who your legislative candidates are and what district you are in. Thank you. Okay. Let's do it.
My name is Craig Lopez. I'm the legislative candidate for District 14. I'm a Republican with both the endorsements of the Ulster County Independence Party and Ulster County Conservative Party. I consider myself a Reagan conservative that believes in smaller government, fiscal responsibility, lower taxes, and less regulation for our small businesses. I'm also running for the right reasons. After sitting on the Town of Shongum Republican Committee for 2 years, our committee chair asked if I would run for legislator, and it took me about 2 seconds to tell him yes, and I'll tell you why. 18 years ago, I was in a car accident on my way to school. I have a spinal cord injury as a result. I spent 3 months at Westchester Medical Center and 6 months at a rehab facility. I was tutored the entire time that I was in the hospital because it was my senior year, so I could graduate on time with my senior class. I continued on to earn my associate's degree at SUNY Orange, and I'm currently finishing my bachelor's degree in business and economics this May. I'm going to finish. I'm also a peer mentor at Helen Hayes Hospital. However, what made me decide to run was the incredible support that my family and I received from our community. And I've never forgot. Nearly 2 decades later, I'm in a position where I can give back. So it's not about politics for me. My community rallied to my side. Now I'm in a position where I can rally to theirs. And that's why I'm running. So, thank
you. My name is Tom Briggs. Most folks know me as TJ. I'm born and raised in Ellenville, lived here all my life. Currently work down at Eastern Correctional Facility. I'm a 4-year county legislator running for re-election in the new 15th district, which encompasses part of Warsing, part of Napanock, part of Ellenville, part of Cragsmore, and probably a couple other little houses here and there. I'm running for a couple of different reasons. Number one, a large majority of the people that sit on the county legislature now don't realize that there's anything south of Hurley. We don't really get any representation. Currently, we have three legislators representing our district. And oftentimes, if you look at Safety Net, which is a program that would bring money back into the town of Warsing, approximately $110,000, the final vote was 29-3 because Mary Shealy, myself, and Joe Steckler voted for it, and everybody else voted against it because it saved us money, but it cost them money. And that's really one of the toughest fights that we have in Kingston. In January, we'll have 23 legislators. I don't think it really makes a difference who's running the show down there, if it's Democrats or Republicans, because you got to fight for your side, so to speak. And this is my hometown, so this is my side. I go toe-to-toe with our minority leader all the time. She's from Kingston, and I'm not, so we know where that discussion goes. And I don't mind speaking my mind, as many of you probably know. But I think that's part of politics, and that's part of fighting for the people that you care for. The other side is I've dedicated my life to this community. I'm a 40-year member of the First Aid Squad in Ellenville. Many years I've umpired Little League, ref soccer, involved in the fire department. My wife and I do a lot of stuff in New York State Special Olympics, and I'm the guy you see in the aisle at the grocery store. So, I have to look in the eye when I walk down the aisle, or I get a look in the eye if I have an ambulance call. And if I'm not taking care of business, for you, then that's a difficult job to do, and that I don't ever want to see, because there's no politics worth losing the faith in your fellow man and the people that are your neighbors. So I enjoy serving you, and hope that I'll be reelected to serve you for 2 more years. Thank you.
And that is, what's your opinion on hydrofracking in Ulster County, and how should it be regulated?
Well, hydrofracking, first of all, I actually don't think it's a problem here. It's a problem in Pennsylvania, it's a problem around the country, but I don't think it's an immediate problem here. I think it can be done responsibly, but I think it's a scare tactic. You can look on YouTube and see people lighting flames that are coming out of faucets, and that it's going to blow up their well, it's going to do this and that. But no, I think everything can be done responsibly if there's regulations. I think if we're to steer away from our dependency on foreign oil, if we're to steer away from dependency on any kind of just if we want to bring down the cost of natural gas, we have to explore other sources. And I think if hydrofracking is going to be one of those alternative ways to do it, I think it's a possibility. And if this comes across as a legislature, I'll entertain looking at it. But I think with regulations, I think it's a possibility.
Right, thank you.
Hydrofracking, for those who don't know, it's you take chemicals and water and basically fracture underlying rock structures to extract natural gas. And one of the problems that have been found through a few different studies, that there's a possibility of natural gas like methane leaking into the water supply. And and I don't think we can risk damaging private property owners' lands at the expense of the money. Until the companies can prove that it's a safe and effective means of extracting natural gas without any risk to private property owners, I would not be in support of it. I mean, as you mentioned, the Gulf Coast, I think one of the problems is the lack of regulations over the last few years of whether it be the financial industry or the Gulf. It's caused a great deal of problems, so we need to ensure that private property owners aren't at risk.
If elected, what difference are you going to have, and what plan will be in place to make that difference?
I think the really big thing we need to focus on is tourism. Bringing together all the resources that we have and basically having a unified approach. We have the Hudson Valley Resort and Honor Stadium. We also have the UCAT bus system that goes through the area. I'd like to expand that bus system to bring guests of our local hotels to our downtown business areas, bring them on the Shongan Wine Trail, and essentially pump some new money into our economy. I spoke with Julian Lee of the Honor Savin, Oris Vadash, the Hudson Valley Resort, and, they essentially don't go after the vacation or traffic. They tend to go for large conferences. I believe if you add transportation, which can be offset with a bus fee, you can start bringing in people into the area. And especially, it's a safety issue too. I mean, if you look at the Shongan Wine Trail, no one's going to walk the Shongan Wine Trail in a straight line. And if you have a bus system, that would certainly help with that issue. But basically, bringing the resources under one roof and working with business owners to expand our tourism industry, bring people from those areas into the business areas, I think is the approach we need to take in order to get our economy going again.
All right, thank you. Ray, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm a small government person, so, and anytime we can get government out of our lives and off our back, cut through the red tape, and cut through the bureaucracy, and give our small businesses a chance in order to expand and create jobs, I think it's a good thing. So, any kind of legislation or policies or laws that we can create, in the legislature, I'm gonna be for it. And that's what I'm looking forward to, is just cutting government and getting the government off our backs and out of our lives. And another thing that I'm gonna be proactive for, locally here is holding the DEP accountable. It's what they've been getting away with for quite some time. It's unbelievable, and I think what the people here have been dealing with, it's a travesty, and it's going to be